G'day, thanks for watching, and I hope you're well wherever you are in the world right now. The other night, I was shooting at a family dinner. It was for my daughter's birthday, and I was using the EOS R with the RF 35mm. That's something unintentional or unexpected. Something accidental happened to me. Now, I haven't looked it up. I haven't gone and found out what it's all about. I've just dropped in to tell you about it. It's to do with the 1.6 crop factor on the EOS R. What is that even for? What would you even use it for? Okay, hey, welcome back. Well, the other night I was shooting at a family dinner, and we've had a couple of family birthdays. My daughter's, one about a month ago and then one this month now. And both times I took some family photos with the EOS R with the RF 35mm f1.8. Now, just the other night, while I was shooting, as I mentioned, I thought to myself, gee, these images look a lot tighter than what I was used to, because the 35mm is great. It's usually about a medium wide, but things are a bit tighter on this particular night, and I didn't think too much of it, although I did think there was something wrong with the camera settings, because when I'd hit the red button for video mode, all of a sudden the aspect would pull back and open up into that 16:9. It was quite a bit wider, so I knew there was something wrong. I just didn't stop or pause to find out what it was. And so later, when I was transferring the images from the memory card onto my computer, I started to notice the quality wasn't quite there. I was thinking, what on earth is going on here? And so this, coupled with the fact that the image had been a little bit tighter while I was shooting, made me think something's going on here. And to just illustrate the point, if I show you some images here from about a month ago at my other daughter's birthday, you can see here the images are nice and crisp and clean. The focus is good, the detail is fine. Everything looks really nice and sharp and beautiful. And you contrast that to the photos from just the other night, which I'll show you now. You can see there's a lot less detail. There seems to be a lot more noise. The focus seems a little bit soft. Everything is not quite right. The aspect ratio seems a little bit off. It was, to me, the images are just nowhere near as good. The quality is not there to the degree that it was prior. So clearly something had changed. Clearly something was wrong. What did I do? I went to the menu. You're probably thinking to yourself, I should have checked the menu way earlier. But at this particular point, I went through a menu, and actually on menu header 1, page 1, what did I find? This setting here for aspect. And if I dive into here, you can see there's a number of options. And then there's also the 1.6, and it's got this little magnifying glass to illustrate that it's a zoom or it's going to punch into the shot. And when I went into the setting, I noticed that that was selected. Now, who selected it? Not me. Not me. I mean, very often you can mash buttons on your camera and things happen, things change, which can be really, really frustrating when it's unintentional. And that was what had happened this time. Although when I look on the card, the previous time I was shooting, the images are normal. And then once I started shooting at this family event, the images were punched in on that 1.6 crop factor. So at some point, someone... Are you allowed to cough on video? You're not? Can we go back? Okay, I wasn't actually coughing, and that was just a piss take. I was just putting the borax in because that's an absolute ridiculous. Who else would have changed the setting? Of course it was me. I must have gone in there, I must have tapped it, I must have changed it. Something must have happened. It doesn't change itself. No one else changed it, so who changed it? I probably changed it. I didn't notice changing it. I don't remember changing it. But anyway, that was the issue. I noticed, I said, what the heck is this? Who selected 1.6 time crop? And so I said, what even is this for? And I have heard about crop mode, because sometimes people like to put the camera into crop mode so they can punch in on their lens and get a little bit more reach down range. And that actually sounds like a really worthwhile function for a crop mode, but it's an absolute myth. And I'll tell you why, because when I looked at the files that had the lower quality and the more imperfections, I noticed the file size was under half the size of the full frame shots without the 1.6 time crop. Now, usually when I'm shooting RAW on the EOS R, the files are around about 30 to 35 megabytes in size. Could be a little less, could be a little more. But I checked these file sizes and I noticed that they were about 12 megabytes. So almost a third of the quality, a third of the information, a third of the file size, a third of the quality. Does that translate? Am I on the right track here? I really think I am. And the reason why the 1.6 time crop to punch in for more reach down range isn't actually a viable tool is because what's happening is that it's just simply cropping into the center of the sensor. And you can do that yourself on the full frame mode. You can shoot a full frame shot and punch into the center of the sensor. If you so wished, it's called cropping. And so it's no surprise that the 1.6 crop mode is called crop mode to start with. That's all it's doing. It's not punching in and giving you more detail or more focus on the center of the sensor. It's simply taking your wide image and basically cropping it in so you get the middle of the picture. All this other stuff outside the frame, you're losing, albeit you could have captured it in if you just kept it in full frame mode. That is basically the video. That is basically the story. Images weren't quite as good, the quality was poor, the imperfections were greater, the detail was nowhere near as good. It was a total waste of 2/3 of that camera's photography power using the 1.6 crop mode. What the heck is that even in there for? Sure, it hones your perspective or your focus into the center of the frame, but it's a total sham. You're losing quality, you're losing information that would be there in the frame otherwise. I recommend not using it. Can you give me a reason why you would use the 1.6 crop mode on this EOS R or on the EOS R5 or the EOS R6 or any of the EOS mirrorless cameras? Give me one good reason, put it in the comments. I'd love to hear about it, because if you've got a good reason that's going to work for me, I want to use it too. Right now I'm scratching my head thinking, how can this be anything other than a pain in the ass? Hey, well that's it for today. Just a quick one about real life experiences shooting with mirrorless cameras, shooting with the EOS R. This is a real life experience. After this, I'm going to go and look up about the 1.6 time crop, see if there are any actual uses for it that renders this whole video absolute bullshit. In the meantime, please subscribe if you want to. We're coming out of Wellington, New Zealand, so it might be a different perspective. Otherwise, as always, please like the video and we'll catch you on the next one. Hey, take it easy out there, okay? See ya.